How's it feel having a John Deere piece of equipment in your shop?
You've got John Deere lawnmowers.
Because that's what we got here today. This is Jeff.
Hi.
Jeff comes to us from around the Glasgow area, right? Mm-hmm. And this is his seeder. All right, so we are going to get after this thing. And Jeff, I understand that we've already done an inspection on this. We had Rick, our salesman, come out.
Good guy.
Yeah. If you guys need an inspection on your air seeder, if that's something you're interested in, or just wondering, what should I do? Reddy's here to help.
So I think that's one thing about agriculture. It's not just doing it. It's being informed and educated about what you're doing and how you're doing it. And I got to hand it to you. You changed a lot of things, like the airflow on some of this stuff on it. Mm-hmm. That was a great innovative deal, and it felt like as a quality made product. Anybody could buy another part, but why not make a better part so it lasts longer and does a better performance? Mm-hmm. And I think that's what you guys have really come up with, and I really appreciate that.
So we call it the most important pass of the year, that seeding pass, because once you put that in the ground,
it's there. It's
not going to get any better.
90 days later, you find out how you did.
Yeah, so. Yep. Should we get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. What we're doing here is we're actually taking off the closing wheel pivot arms, the gauge wheels, getting that all out of our way so we can get through here a lot faster. When we did the inspection, we noticed that this closing wheel came side to side a little too much, so we're updating this pivot. This one also, in some areas, a lot of side to side slop. We're going to put our bearing pivot in that one. On the main row, you'll notice here that there's a lot of side to side slop. And a lot of that's from this pivot right here. This pivot needs to be replaced, so we're going to come back and take that out and replace it with new pins and bushings once we've got all the components stripped off here so it's the lightest it can be. I'm out of grease. Impeccable timing when we're trying to show you guys what Garrett was doing.
I am cleaning out the closing wheel and press wheel pivots, cleaning them free of grease. Since this bottom one has a bearing in it now, we don't need to have any grease or grease contaminants in it. And this one is going to still maintain the ability to be greased, so we don't want any of that old, disgusting grease in there.
Looks like a fun job.
Yeah, I'm pretty clean still. So
yeah, you are.
It's going good.
So Brett's starting with these bearings, and he's pressing them into the press wheel pivot. Get that? Pressing the press wheel, pressing the bearing, pressing the press wheel arm bearings and the press wheel arm pivot.
Too many pressing things.
The kit consists of 2 bearings and a spacer and the hardware. Pretty simple. We're gonna call this part of the episode Hammer Time with Payton. How many of those pivots do you think you've installed in your career?
Oh man, too many to count.
Yeah,
for sure.
Payton's been doing it for a lot of years. Like 9 years he's been working on air seeders.
Several thousand air seeders.
Yeah. So when you see him hammering, that's a man that's got a lot of skill in hammering and a lot of time on the hammer.
My favorite tool right here, the hammer.
All right, all right. What Payton is doing, he is putting these bushings in. They're a very hard bushing. And you notice there's a groove in them. There's a shoulder, I should say. That shoulder is to clear this ring that presses in the cavity around the bushing. And this seal we've found works really well. It's a face seal. See the grooves in it that grease can travel? This pivot has proven to last the longest out of all the pivots we've ever been around or experienced or tried. But it takes the load of that closing wheel arm. It also takes keeping the dirt out because there's grease in those channels. And we say grease at least once a season, but probably every 1,000, 2,000 acres. Grease every 1,000 acres and you're usually good. So it lasts a long time. Good pivot. When this depth adjuster is engaged or set in the depth you want, it's going to stay there even when the gauge wheel is pushing up or if it happens to want to bounce up and down. These cover plates are they're thicker and they're harder than the John Deere ones.
Average when a guy works on this, I mean, it's like, is this like a typical tune-up job that you normally do on stuff then?
We did both your pivots and this, so that's probably medium. I'd call it a medium one.
Well, I certainly appreciate your time and stuff.
Thank you.
And nice to meet you too. So
thanks for having us.
yeah.